Want that sick, bruised flesh on your Nurgle models? Two glazes are all you need. Up, I wanted to add all of the bruising that you can see on the box art. So I decided to use two colors. The first one is Bugman's Glow, which is it's kind of a darker, flashy color. And I thinned this down using a little bit of water again. So probably again about 3-4 parts water, turning this into a bit of a glaze. Now, when you're doing glaze, it's really important to remember a couple of things. The first thing is not to have too much paint on your brush. So always, once you load your brush up, tap it onto a paper towel or a kitchen towel like I use here, and just drag and then take it to the model. When you drag your brush, you want to be using as much of the brush face as possible across the model. So you reduce tide marks, you reduce join lines, but also wherever you end up, wherever the brush stops, that's going to be where the most paint lands. So what you want to make sure is that you're glazing in the direction where you want it to be darkest, which is why I'm glazing towards the armor panels here. And the other thing is you really need to make sure it's completely dry before you go back in and glaze over it again. So a first layer of glaze isn't going to do a huge amount. It might take 3 or 4 layers of glaze to get the effect you want, but by doing it that way and starting a little bit closer to the armor each time, you'll get a nice transition. Now, I wasn't 100% sure which purple color to go for all that bruising, so I ended up going for Naggaroth Night, which I think's turned out okay. Did exactly the same thing as previously, so I thinned it down into a glaze consistency. And then I just painted it towards the armor panel, but I probably started very close to the armor panel to start with as well, because I wanted that transition to go from the Bugman's Glow into the Naggaroth Night, and that's where I got that bruising. Use this really sparingly because it is a really powerful color, and if you're not careful, it'll really overpower some of the elements that you've already painted. So with all the bruising done, I just wanted to add a little more contrast to the flesh. So I did this using some Castellan green. Again, I thinned it down to a glaze consistency. So 2, 3, maybe 4 parts water. Depends how thick your paint is. It's a very, very dark green. And what I wanted to do here was just add it into some of those recesses, and I'm focused on the lower part of the arms here, and underneath where you've got the rolls of fat and things like that on the body as well, where you've got the leather belts and things like that. And again, just adds a bit more contrast, so it helps really sell the effect of all the rolls and that. I guess it's like a Michelin man effect. If you want the full step by step for this, it's on my YouTube. There's a link in my bio.